I don't have
Thank
to
you.
worry about that. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah.
Cool. Let me pull up my notes. We're gonna look at Tim sent me Busan and Kings Row. If we want to look at stuff from other maps after that, we can. I picked, what do I have, like 3 or 4 team fights for Busan. Like the biggest consistent thing I've seen is how we control and push through chokes. And then for Sanctuary, when there's not chokes, it's just holding like corners and holding space, right? So what we do here is really good. Got the making of something really good, and then it kind of falls apart. So what are we thinking here?
The call was to push height and so drop from my side.
Yeah, right. It's pretty good. And why is that? Why is that good?
Puts pressure on multiple angles so they can't 5 stuff a choke with May.
Yeah.
And
I mean, let's face it. Like it gets us past this choke, right? We can, spam our Qs through the choke and kind of fight it off that way, or we can be a little smarter and come out through multiple ways. Fuck them up. I'm gonna kind of play out the fight, and I'll chat after. I'll kind of see it from here. Okay. Right, so this is a fight where we have a really good plan to push through the choke, and then we kind of stumble. We don't come in. Like we'll look at the split group, right? Look at like the Sojourn POV.
This ends now.
We pop the overclock, and we just kind of forget.
Feeling better. Breaking
Same
them
thing with
down.
our Lucio, that's kind of tagging along. So what's the thought process behind this?
I thought they were gonna run on us, which they started to, and then I didn't see that they backed off and ran back. I think that was my fault because I called it and told Bucket to do that when it wasn't the right thing.
Okay.
I think we would have been better, like, going behind the staircase, and then they start pushing back, and we just free peek it again.
Exactly,
With
right?
Social.
Yeah, and even if they do try to push you off this angle, you're not alone. Like Bucket, you're not alone. I don't. Is Bucket here, or is he the person?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, right. You're not alone, right? You have Lucio with you, right? So even if they do start to push you, you don't have to dip right away, right? You can keep shooting, and once they start to get like here, then you can disengage, right? Take a little damage. You got Lucio, right? But if they don't push you, right? And I'm gonna bring it up if we have time later on. But there's examples where you're on an angle and you're shooting them, and they're not pushing you, but then we stay in the same spot, right? Where we can be way more aggressive. Like they're giving you all this space to shoot them, and so we have to push up, to make your shots easier to get better sight line, right? And then from the other group, right?
This ends now.
There's, they're not all getting shot at by 5 players, right? We get a pick. We kind of just commit a little too hard, right? But what I want to draw attention is our plan is pretty good. I'm just gonna kind of drop the. Right.
This ends.
yeah, we have to just keep the pressure on Bucket's ult. When you guys swing like that, there's like no pressure for them. And instead of having their May Sig look at you, they just, as soon as they see you swinging like that, they just insta turn.
Yeah.
And then we're 5v3 in a choke. We still somehow killed Soj, but like.
And if we are gonna walk out, right? Because I think it's fine to walk out. We should, we don't want to stay in the open in this choke, right? We either hug this choke and keep shooting them through here, and if more of them turn on the Sojourn, that's fine. Then we can walk out more, but yeah, a little bit of a disconnect to a point, and then we either stay here or we rotate like this way, right? To kind of get out of the choke, have better cover. Yeah. And then yeah, good plan. There's other fights where we kind of just walk through point and walk out, and it's a little rough. We can look at one of those in a bit.
This year was so easy. Oh my god.
I go to next time I have 7. Look at 13. 48. Okay. So the pre-example, we walk through a choke. We have a really good plan to not get stuffed at the choke, but we don't really commit to fighting, right? And then we look at this fight. Where is the enemy team going to walk?
Left side. Or
Left
maybe
side?
high ground.
Left side, or maybe high ground, right? Yeah. How can we set up angles when they walk through, right? How do we want to do that, right? If they, let's say they walk here, how can we set up multiple angles to put pressure on them here?
We could have Soj basically mirroring from our alley.
Yeah, that's really good.
Spamming down here.
Yeah.
We could have May close, hugging one of the pillars,
Yeah.
like like here.
Somewhere here, yeah.
Sig
Yeah.
as well.
That could be pretty good, right? And the one thing, it's more of a problem on King's Row, right? When we have the bashing, but we might not kill them in one hit, right? Like both may wolves go down. We're gonna use Sig cooldowns, Sojourn E, Lamp, and nothing might die. But what do we get if no one dies on either side? What do we still get?
Percentage.
Percentage, ult charge, right? Space even, right? If we're attacking, right? And the reason I say attacking here is because if let's say we don't kill anyone and we lose our cooldowns, right? And we have to back up. We can back up and set up a fight exactly where we're standing here, right? We kind of give up an opportunity to even fight them, right? So, like looking at where they're coming from and proactively setting up so we can hit them, you know, wherever the furthest forward spot we can hit them, right? Maybe not over here, but okay, when they come out of one of up here, here, or here, figure out where they're going. You can set up angles on it.
Area denial.
Kind of apply pressure to them, right? And then
Yeah.
we're gonna look at the same example of that, but on a different round over here. So we just won the fight.
Go, maybe.
We're respawning. We're coming back. Right? Come back. This is the wrong time stamp. I think it's a fight after this. Here. Yeah, this is a fight. Right. Well, here. So where do we wanna fight them so we can have angles set up? What part of the map?
Probably like left side where you can choke. Like if they go on the right, you can wall it. I mean, any way. Like yeah, that pillar right there.
Yeah, here, right? Maybe, you know, they're coming main, right? So probably like over here or like this corner up if you want, right?
Stick near
Yeah,
there,
I feel like we have to let them in a little more, just based on the geometry. We can't have a May that close up.
Okay, we can let them walk in a little more, yeah. Right? We have this really good angle from our soldier, right?
Wait, okay.
Right. So when they walk in, we have a good crossfire. Yeah. Right.
This
There's like a few ways. I think the first thing I could say is bucket. Do we need if they're not gonna run on you, where is the enemy team gonna go? Let's say they don't see you and you're invisible. Where are they gonna walk?
Point. Where
Point.
Zeb is.
Yeah, right. So do we have to peek at all? Like especially since we have our overclock?
No, I don't have to peek.
Right? No, because it you know, it gives yourself away. It's like, oh, we gotta clear this soldier before we walk, right? Especially when you have your overclock, you can chill, right? Or just, you know, an ultimate in general that benefits from your angle. Like you did on the mecha base, right? The first example. Right? You chill, they walk out, they go point, right? But then they clear you, and then they kind of corral you back into your team. Right? Yeah.
this ends now.
It's kind of a lot harder. Our back has a really good window on the top. And they kind of just rush point as soon as they force you out with beat. Right? But the point I'm getting at with these three different examples from each round is proactively setting up these crossfires, right, and taking advantage of them, right? Looking at where the fight's gonna happen, and it's not so much like engage first, right? With the angles, it's just like engage together when we have it set up, right? Yeah. That make sense?
Yep.
Yeah, right? So, yeah, and then I did want to bring up the first fight of this round.
Ready for
Here,
battle.
right? No, last round. Right?
5. Ready for. Dodge this.
So this is a fight where we have pretty good like we have a good crossfire, right? Right, but we have to be careful of just committing too hard, right? So May, lift key, are you here?
Yeah.
Right, we do this a lot on May. Are you comfortable on May?
I thought I was, but not in this screen.
Okay, I think just letting Zeb like positionally like always being with him or letting him be in front of you, right? A little bit more apparent on King's Row, right? But let's say both May walls go out, we dump a bunch of cooldowns. We're always a little too far forward, which makes it very hard, you know, for you to live, reset, and then go in for your next wall, go in for your next pressure cycle, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So imagine like we do the same play, right? Like we have the angles, right? We're gonna cap the point. They have to push into us, right? We have this really good crossfire. We might not get a kill in the first hit, right? Or the second, but we'll either have an ult or we'll just be capping the point and winning, right? So like we wall. You get another wall, right? Wall after Soldier. But like we position, like we're gonna insta kill them, right? And unless you're blizzarding or we're windowing, that's not always gonna happen, right? So
Yeah.
especially when we don't have ults, you know, it's okay to stand here and freeze them as well, right? We chill, maybe we get them low, maybe we kill them, not, and then if not, you know, reset to this corner, this cover, then we go in for our next wall if we want to go in aggressive more, right? Or if we see like they, you know, use cooldowns. And then here, bucket, right? We're on an angle, right? But no one's looking at you. So what can you do?
Play more aggressive.
Yeah, we can just keep walking into them, getting better. You know, they're bigger on your screen. Yeah, right. And if they push you, you still have your slide, and you know, especially since the rest of your team is actively fighting them, right? It's pretty safe, right? We can walk up here. We can take a wider angle. You know, assuming the wall isn't here or something, right? Yeah, because you're in a better position, getting value, but could get more. So that's what I see. That kind of sums up all of like the key fights, on Busan, right? Where we have point, we have space, and we're not proactively setting up angles. So when they walk through, we can hit them, right? And then once we do have the angles, it kind of fumbles a little bit, right? We're not able to reset for that second hit. Or like the first example, we don't commit sometimes, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Cool, right? We can look at I mean the example later on this map that I use, right? The 13 something. If that happens twice, right? We kind of
This ends now.
right. Kind of happens twice. Grab here, right? And again, the reason I say like to fight, you know, here. If we lose a fight, we can take a fight here, and then if we lose a fight, we're kind of back. You know, they have high ground. It's just kind of hard. Yeah. Yeah. So what are some things we could do next scrim to kind of help alleviate that? What questions are we going to ask ourselves?
Where are they going to go?
Where are they going to go? And then what?
How do we shoot them from multiple angles
Yeah.
based on where they go?
Yeah, exactly, right? Yeah. One thing you guys did do really good throughout, like, you know, for the most part, throughout Busan and King's Row, is dealing with the enemy ults, right? Dealing with the Blizzard. It wasn't an instant team wipe for you guys. Dealing with their flux, right? It wasn't always an instant team wipe, right? Even if you didn't have beat, right? So that was really good, really good. You want to look at King's Row? I don't have my second screenshot, but that's fine. a lot of King's Row, other than the fights where like both teams press like 6 Qs, or 6 Qs in total, it's they're synchronizing their pressure first, right? It's not like they just went into us first. It's they use the Sig Shield, they use the amp, they use the wall, they use the Bastion, right? Look at this fight. Instant May wall, Bastion's about to form, right? And we don't have that same pressure back on them, right? When they do, right? And then I kind of fumbles from there, right? I'm gonna stay on first point for a little bit to look at our attack at first point, the first fight, right? Gonna keep it on the same part, right? Right? Like we go, turn the corner with Maywall, instant ice block force. Sig was half HP, we turn the corner, and then like Bastion form, right? Like we get the pick, but we see the difference in the two attacks.
Mhm.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I want to look at this next fight to kind of sum up the second. I'm a little bit on you, Lifty, but I don't think it's so much your fault. It's just more of like a disconnect, right? Like I don't know what comms are in the scrim, right? But this is kind of the
Yeah, no, I think it's definitely a disconnect. We talked about during the scrim how I need to like say what I'm doing more, and that was kind of an issue here where I just either go ahead and do it or like do it too late or something like that, and we wouldn't really be aware.
Yeah, so again, I don't know who is like the one calling the shot when you guys are playing, but thinking it up around someone, right? It could be you, right? If you want to be the one pulling everyone's together, right? But it was a little better, right? We look at our Maywall, we look at our Bastion form, we look at our engage. Much better time, right? But the enemy team's not going to sit there, right? They're also going to use cooldowns, right? And positionally, we're just, again, we keep pushing forward. This might be fine if everyone's with you, but it's just a disconnect, right? So what ends up happening is we're not ready to do our second Bastion form cycle, our second Maywall cycle, right? Because, again, especially without ults, most of the time you're not going to insta-kill someone, right? So, yeah, and then once we lose you, then it kind of fumbles from there, right? So that's like the two big things with this map, right? Is we cycle our cooldowns, sync it up on whoever, and then if we don't get immediate value, like in kills or something, right? Setting up, resetting, we go again once we have the cooldowns back, right? We can still poke and apply pressure, right? But positionally, we have to like chill, right? And then if we look at a more complex example of that, let me get a screenshot, right? So look at this fight right here. We're walking through choke. I think we could, rotation-wise, flip map so we don't have to walk through this choke. It's kind of hard, but we get through. Not so much problem there. Right? We look for a flux, right? What is the enemy team going to do when we flux?
Beat.
They're going to beat. Okay, are we going to match the beat, or are we going to do something else? Are we going to get out? What are we going to do?
Shoot BAP.
Yeah, I was gonna say probably shoot back / get out.
Yeah, definitely shoot BAP / get out, right? And I think positionally, right, we're again a little too committed to the fight, right? Especially knowing that we have beat, right? May just we're a little far forward. Buckethead, we don't really have cover, right? To kind of line of sight the damage, right? And so those are the things like to come into this fight thinking, right? It's not always we go in, flux, they die, right? Or we go in, Maywall, Bastion shift, they die, right? We're gonna get something out, right? It might be ultimates, it might be cooldowns, we might get space with it, and then we chill and then go in for the next cycle, right? Or we can extend our current push with an ult, right? Like we go in, Maywall, and then we continue to push a window, or we just, probably leave the fight with window, right? And a lot of the fights are kind of fall into those three buckets, unless there's some exceptions, right? Make sense?
Yeah.
Right. I do want to bring up one. What timestamp is this? 5:15. So I'll go to. So I want to. The question I'm gonna ask, right, is when do we apply pressure, right? You know,
It seems I lost my balance. Actuating the
they
barrier.
like commit to the fight, right?
The barrier cannot withstand much more.
I think that out of the team if you have in that. Might as well.
My barrier is gone. My barrier is gone.
We don't.
Yeah, right? So what can we do instead? Right.
We could path differently and go right side.
Yeah,
or
path differently, right? As soon as we see this, right, we can just use our May wall, speed, just dip, go this way, right? Rotate this way, right? What else can we do?
how split are Zeb and Lifkey on the walk up?
Stab and lift key on the walk. Let me show you.
It seems I lost my balance. Actuating the barrier. The barrier cannot withstand much more. My barrier is gone. My barrier is gone.
That's your question? Or...
Yeah, I feel like we could mailed. We could insta swing with window. No, we can't actually. Swing with window is really bad there. I feel like we have to either kite right side or mailed.
Yeah, right? That kind of something. Yeah, it's perfect, right? I feel like here when we commit wall, right? Here's a pretty good opportunity to throw the mail. We don't have to throw it at the signal, right? You can throw it like here. You won't eat it, like right in front of him. It'll still hit him, right? The Lucio's nowhere to be seen, right? And even if he gets lamped, I think we can kill one Sigma that's frozen, right? Or we can, like you said, path right side, get out of this, and then we go in, bam, blizzard, fuck him up, right? Yeah. I don't really see a real commitment while we're under pressure and like dying, right? So there's I think 2 other examples of that. But yeah, right. I feel like this one kind of gets the point across, right? So what can we do differently next scrim to help with that? Right? We kind of said it already, lift key, right? But what questions are we gonna ask? Or what can we do? Anyone?
Like we kind of need to plan around their first ult a little bit. Be like if they turn with window, or when we're walking up and we see 4 of them standing there shooting at us, like be like, how are we gonna combat this? You know?
Yeah, right. Kind of like, you know, we know they have Blizzard. They're not just gonna sit there, right, and not use it, right? We know they have this. What are we gonna do in response, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Because that helps us know if we can actually go in and commit, right? Or not. And then if we go in, but we don't punch as hard, right? Like with the my mouse is off the screen. Like with the flux example, right? We're gonna go in, apply pressure. We know they're gonna beat our flux. Are we gonna try and kill BAP through it? Yes, no, maybe. We try. If it doesn't work, we chill and we go in next fight, right? They don't have beat, we can try to use something else, right? Or just take the fight without beat and without flux on either side. Yeah. Right. How can we fix our synchronization, right? With everyone, with our cooldowns. Who are
I
we?
don't just talk.
Yeah, like who's gonna be the, how are we gonna do that? Like, who's gonna?
Usually Zeb 3-2-1s, but I
Zeb
think we just
3-2-1s?
need to have. I think with this VOD we'll just have a better idea about where we need to be in relation to each other. Like sometimes like Lift is like 100% in, or like I feel like on that walk up there, like Lift was like too passive, and like Zeb was taking all the pressure on the
Yeah,
on
I
that
agree,
walk
yeah.
up, and so it's like we just need to have a better idea of where to stand with the 3-2-1s because we already 3-2-1. But if we're in the correct positions, they will be synced.
Yeah, that could be a little sticky note, right? We look at Instagram. Yeah, right. Those are the big points I wanted to get through, right? I didn't want to take too long, but if anyone wants me to go over specific stuff, I can go over more team fights. But yeah, my time's kind of yours. Right. I do want to look back up Busan a little bit. Again, I kind of glossed over the stuff we did good, right?
Yeah.
Right, because you guys did good.
We didn't talk about that.
Do you have the code for the push you played?
I don't have a push code.
I can grab it.
And honestly, it might be good to look at some good teamfight examples and contrast them with bad teamfight examples
Yeah.
You can do
to
that.
show like lift and
Yeah.
like, bucket
Are you
specific.
thinking like second point defense?
I mean, Esperanza
Yeah,
could
right. Second point defense we held.
Or S, yeah.
did.
Right. Yeah, we can go with that.
Grabbing it really quick.
Yeah, we can look at this fight real quick and then look at Esperanza. Oh yeah, these fights were so good.
Yeah,
We just
right?
choked them out perfectly.
This is
I was
really
like, wow. They flex. What do we do? Oh my god, Sam beats. They bash it out.
Oh, I don't get beat through block. I actually didn't know that. Crazy.
They window. We bash it out. Punish. They beat 55. Draw Lucio. It's over. How can they win?
They can't. I think this one's just obviously easier because like the choke, like the line of cross and don't cross is like way more obvious here.
Exactly. Yeah.
For me, I mean, I feel like I realized, like you said, I feel like I go into a fight expecting to like insta kill someone. Cause like maybe that's how like you played the Bastion comp last patch, like before May. With like Sim Bastion, you just
I think,
insta kill someone.
especially into other comps, right? When they have less tools to survive, right? Like if it's a Reinhardt without a Mei or something, right? Like the Reinhardt just insta dies, right? Like you'll be consistently getting that kill, right?
Yeah.
But the Sig has to suck, right? Unless you're like rocking him every single time, and there's no their Mei messes up their wall, right? It's gonna be a lot harder, right? They have more tools to survive, and that's just kind of how mirrors go in general. These kind of brawl mirrors. Yeah. So this is the code. You said Esperanza?
Yeah.
Yeah, we started playing well. So I want to look at like.
Well, at
Fights.
least like for the first half, and then the second half, like especially with me, I felt like some fights I was lost.
My arrow keys are not working. Hello? Oh, now they're working.
Also, I did watch this map back myself. I think, Zach, I think their May was a little silly this first half.
Yeah, right. This was a lot better. Yeah, right.
Sky the Kid RS is not the most reliable opponent.
Bro, they would go on like weird flanks and stuff. That
Is it a
would just,
different
like,
May player or
they're-
a different scrim?
Oh, this was like later in the scrim. I think they just,
Oh.
I don't know, loosened up.
In a
Yeah.
bad way though.
But this
Yeah.
time, right, I want to just kind of show how this is better. Right? At least from like the top down. Right? Bastion form's a little late. We don't really Bastion form. But,
No, I didn't. I was waiting for E to
oh,
go
okay.
out for Sig.
Yeah. It's kind of like he's not going to E unless you Bastion form. It's kind of, kind of.
I mean, I'll take that. I'll take that.
It
No,
works in the end.
If you take that, yeah, right? But the big thing here, right, is like, Lifkey, we're not like positionally committing so hard, right? Because if we don't get the kill, you're not caught out, right? So,
Yeah.
At least in that front.
Objective unlocked.
Just gonna kill the rest of them. Where is the enemy team gonna come from?
left side.
Left side. How do we want to set up for this choke?
How about lift at either pillar or like hard holding one of the chokes? Like could be on bench, could be on tree.
Yeah.
And then Zeb just spamming and bucket right behind Zeb. Now be up top.
Yeah, I definitely probably should just play Pillar Wald instantly.
Yeah, right. I think the pillar was a really good.
I remember at the time I was like, just sit point, so I don't know. That might have just been.
Yeah, because I mean, if it all fucks up, we can always like back up the point, right? Maybe not point, but like the next piece of cover, right? One thing with like the May mirror, right? If you want to get, if you're having trouble getting through chokes, right, and you know the May is like hard holding this bench, for example, you can just wall off the May, right? And then you can walk through.
Yeah.
That's why I kind of like the statue a little more. It's a lot harder to just wall off the May so you can walk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Kind of what's that? I don't know why. Why does their Sigma do that?
Dust.
This is a little goofy, but good job again. I'm just a little worried about you two, right? We don't have our Lucio or Bastion, right? But you got this spell on. You got it high, we drop. Nice. Good window, nice. Then make it spot up, cool. Yeah, I mean this round's going a lot better. Or not. Do we just roll?
Yeah, the second half there's some fights that are interesting. So
Okay.
I've never seen that Bastion UI before. When he's like,
Yeah,
he's
he's
tilting?
zooming all around.
Yeah. I'm a little worried, right? How we're with the soldier. How do we react to if there's a flanker in the back on this comp?
we probably walk in, but if she has overclock, I think it's hard. Because if we walk in and unless we can like push past bus, she can just shoot our ass with overclock. So maybe it'll just force beat and we have to keep walking. But
Yeah, that's one way. We can commit like shield or wall, right? Some sort of cooldown to deal with it, right? I mean, yeah, she might slide over it. Yeah, she might do this, right? But it just buys time, right?
yeah.
If you put a shield, assuming we're not bashing both things here, right? It's a little, kind of mistimed, but we know there's a soldier behind. Put a wall, put a shield. She'll have to get from here, walk, and then jump over, right? In that time, I'm sure you guys can kill something.
Yeah.
So a little, I think our really close team.
This ends.
this is just another walk in when
Yeah.
don't really need to go into the left.
Yeah. Again, it's not like even if you don't get Blizzard, right? If you get your Ice Block forced, it's not like Reaper Wraith where you can just get out, right? We're stuck. You're physically stuck there, right?
Yeah.
That's like the other half of it. Like even if you don't get Blizzard, let's say we're still chilling shooting, we have to physically push up or like Sig Shield you to get you out, right?
So bad.
This ends now.
Yeah, if we're ulting and we're confident we can win then. You know, before it. Then just dies, yeah. Oh, good. What are we thinking? We obviously don't have to push the bot, right? We have lead, but what are we thinking here?
Just need to build our alts, to be honest. They're coming up on like 4.
Okay.
Coming up on like 2. I think we can just hold this oppressive environment and make the move first.
I think we're pushing.
I don't know why you guys walked so far forward just from 1 May in the little room. Cause I was like back high ground chilling.
No, I think you made a good call, too, right? To chill, build ult once we have our flux, once we have our blizzard, once we have window, wait, we can take that step forward. I think we're, one thing like gotta watch out for, right? Kind of big choke, right? Wall through.
There is no need to fight. Barrier unsuccessful.
Start to, right?
Yeah, I don't know why we went forward. That might have been me saying something. I don't really remember.
I think it was.
Yeah, and like secondly too, we have the lead, right? Like this all of a sudden becomes just King's Row defense, right? Like that second point defense that you guys did so well on, right? Big archway, they gotta walk through it to push the point. You guys don't have to push the point, right? And then again, the second thing, like you guys have ults, even if we do want to push, right? So we give up the advantage of holding the choke. We got blizzard. Yeah. Just walk on them with blizzard.
Or die.
Or die. You get walled up.
Yeah. And I have a
Go
ring
up.
delay.
And it's just like unneeded risk, right? You know. It's just like you don't have access to cover, right, to stop the damage. So, you know.
Just a mechanical
Yeah,
duel.
It's a mechanical 1v5.
Yeah.
Definitely my favorite.
Yeah, right? It's just not worth the risk, right? Like we you know,
Yeah, no, I got it.
yeah,
I got it.
happens. Just run away.
Bad ending.
Oh,
Bucket.
Hey, he overclocked.
yeah, Zeman, I know what you're gonna say.
Yeah. You're kiting.
What do we want to do here? What are we thinking?
Our
Yeah.
plan was to open with Bastion, and then like force them off high ground and force them back, and then mail it.
Okay, I think there was a disconnect because in my brain is like I just gotta go click Q. So I was just kind of all in.
Oh. We do force them all 5. Okay.
Well, I forced them.
Yeah, you need to like break your May block there left.
With B, I literally
Yeah.
just learned 30 minutes
Yeah.
ago that
Yeah.
no good B.
His ass is blocked. he could have 700 HP right
And then
now.
I just instant died to Surge, so yeah.
Yeah. How can we deal, right? Because if we all 5 go point, right, and they're just still on high ground, we kind of just lose, right? We know that. So how do we deal with these people on high ground? We know they're there. You can see them shooting from here. How do we want to deal with that?
Why don't we just let them push card? That way they don't. That way they don't have to be in high ground anymore.
We
They
can
take a different angle.
Yeah, we can clear high. We can just walk up to it and just clear high.
I think we wanted to stop checkpoint here,
Yeah.
so
Yeah, the play was Bastion ult so they can't window and then use our May ult, but we just didn't May ult.
I'm good.
I mean, that was the play, we just didn't May ult. The other chance, I mean, we could go high, but...
Yeah. Well, now you know to get beat.
Top dead.
I want to look at one thing. I want to look at find it back. Sorry, call you out, but I do want to check
Oh, you used your
And
eyes
I-
too late.
I think I get beat here, but I don't.
Why don't we prioritize like walling high ground? That's what I'm gonna ask.
Cause I don't know. I'm not smart. I didn't think about it in the moment.
Yeah. Right? Because I mean, all we want to do is wall to split them, right? Yeah. So like this is the more beneficial split, yeah. Right? Just because if you guys are on the, well, I think you said you're gonna switch to Soldier, right? But if you are on the May Bastion, like, then kind of just surrounding you is the biggest threat, right?
Their angles.
Yeah. Right? You guys just aren't on the heroes that deal with that well. So right, so using our what May walls or 6 shields, right, cover to minimize the impact of theirs. Okay. Pretty big, pretty big. We have mail.
They do too. They have Sode as well.
冻住，不洗澡。冻住。
Yeah, I was worried about their I was worried their Soldier and Lucio would just stay here, right? They kind of just shoot you guys as you walk, right? So I was gonna say path this way to clear high ground and then drop. They didn't do that, so small victory, right?
冻住，不洗澡。冻住，不洗澡。
Why do we mail so late? Looking?
I'm gonna be honest. This is gonna sound stupid, but I think I walled them, so then I didn't see them, so I didn't know where to mail out.
Oh, that's fair. I mean,
I don't know. Like I see this, and I guess I just don't.
yeah.
I probably could have mailed on wall. But I guess that was where they just weren't there.
Yeah. So how do you think you could fix that, right? So you want to use your Maywall to like so they can't speed out of it, right? It's hard, it's harder
Yeah,
for them to
yeah,
speed out, right?
that's true. I
Right.
guess I got like confused of like just walling to split versus like may-alting and walling to like block escape here. I just kind of try to do both and
Yeah, right?
didn't really do shit. So
That's okay, right? But if you have your mail, right, you can lean, if you have a, if they're always speeding out of it or that, that's a problem, you can save your mail for that, right? But don't rush it, right? It looked like we insta-saw the Sigma, right? Team was here, insta-saw, like we had to wall, right? But like the value from winning the fight just comes from your ult. You hit a big ult, they die, right? So just, even if we don't wall right now, wait that extra second, we still have it, we turn the corner, we make sure it goes like this or something, so the Sigma can't just S-key out of it with amp speed, and then we chuck it like, a feet in front of him so he can't eat it. And then there we go, right?
冻住，不洗澡。冻住。
Barrier unsuccessful.
And I think the other thing, what cover do we have pushing in this street part right here? What cover are we playing around as a team, right?
Hope.
It's kind of hard, right? We don't really. So regardless of the male, right? There could be a soldier note standing here, and it's still just a surgery. Right? So again, I still like pushing this way. We have cover. We have clear them from high ground, and then we can develop after, right?
Yeah.
It's like the same reason why we go up here, right? And then drop if we have to, right? It gives us cover for the fight and forces them. If we're standing here, they can't be down here, right? Forces them back, and then we can take whatever this boss or this green color.
冻住，不许走。
This ends now.
We still end up being good.
By the way, Tim, are we checked in for Miss?
Yeah, we're checked in.
Het universum zingt voor mij. Vamos, Kulasha. Pide mal suyo.
Zip, are you home? No.
2 minutes remaining.
Vamos, Kulasha.
Zip's still on his phone.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, and then the little bit of disconnecting in here.
Yeah,
We
we
killed
talked
you.
about this one after too. I was just
That's okay. You can't get better if you don't make mistakes. I did want to see everyone else. Can't really see it from top down.
Taking the robot. What is that melody?
Bang.
Yeah, we did what we're good at, right? We turn the corner with Flux, we fuck them up.
Pide mal suyo.
Seconds remaining.
Playmaker.
yeah.
Sad day in the office.
Yeah.
I'm on fire.
Oh, he did not show.
Yeah, but again, if we look at like who we're trying to pressure, right? We killed their Sigma, we lost our Mei, right? And then each of us try to shoot someone else, right? So Bastion shooting Mei, Zip shooting Lucio, Arlucio shooting their soldier, right?
Oh my gosh. Same
Yeah.
It's kind of
Yeah.
hard to clean up anyone if our damage is so spread, right? And our resources are just in so many different places. Like if we all wanted to kill this person, like independently we could have died, but spread a little too thin,
60
right?
seconds remaining.
Yeah.
Hello.
30 seconds remaining.
Het universum zingt voor mij. Vamos, Kulasha.
Here's a pretty
2
interesting.
minutes remaining. Two
Right?
minutes remaining.
We get Flux.
Vamos,
We,
Kulasha.
we see that they're split. What do we want to do now?
Well,
I actually don't know. I did know in the moment. I don't think. I don't know.
I feel like we
Who can we collapse on as 5 that we're good at killing, right? Are we worried about the payload right now or the bot? A little bit,
no
not that much.
20 meters. Low key, maybe BAP or Sega.
Yeah, right. I think we all have access to push right side, collapse on these people. We can wall this side off, right? like which side is more vulnerable if we sped on them? Is kind of the question, right?
Yeah, the Valve side.
Yeah,
The other two have like
right.
block inside.
Especially since we have the overhealth. I don't know if we have Maywall. Yeah, right. So we have Maywall. We can wall off the other side, right? Kind of how we talked about with the high ground example, right? We have, it's just to split them, right? Whether we're walling the tank off from his team, or we're walling off an angle, right? Same thing with our 6 shield, right? I don't know. We don't have shield. He just broke. But, yeah. And we kind of
10
stay here.
seconds remaining.
Yeah. Yeah, and then again, we're most vulnerable when they have this crossfire on us.
冻住，不许走！
Yeah.
Overtime.
Big window.
冻住，不许走！
Het universum zingt voor mij.
So I think some consistent themes are where we want to fight, right? We saw that with here. We saw that with here are some big examples, and then what we do when they're split, right? How we go about that, right? Some like the example here, the example we just saw right here, and the example with the sojourn, right? So allocating as little resources as possible to the one group, and then collapsing on the more vulnerable group, right? That's how I'd say go about that, right? Consistent themes, and then there's some individual stuff. But sorry. Cool. Any questions?
Not really. I kind of know what I want to look at or focus on next
Yeah.
scrim, next game. Thank you.
Well, that's a good thing. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Tim, anything else?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, I'm
We
gonna...
got easy Nace match that we can do this stuff in, and then we have a scrim on Thursday. So
Okay.
Wait, Thursday or Wednesday?
Wednesday, I think.
Wednesday.
Oh yeah.
Bucket Snatch. Wait,
Zeb
long
said he
Thursday.
was going to public for a scrim Wednesday. Yeah. That's what it was.
Yeah.
I gotta message that one team and say that we can't scrim them anymore.
Cancel on them.
Well, I'm glad I was able to help it, and I'll see you guys next time.